Hi, warrior, it's Traviseen here, and welcome back to our adventures with the Gnome Warlock.
Hello.
Today, we are in Duskwood, guys. And the reason why we are here is to make sure we get this last bottle of moonshine that we need for the Dry Times quest chain. So there we or quest. So now we got that done. We'll head back to Lakeshire. And we will turn that quest in. Probably do a few more quests in Red Ridge Mountain. I hope you guys are doing well today. Doing pretty good.
Have a good one.
There's a new website out called WoWClassic.plus. And it is called the Classic Plus Project. And they are asking WoW players, or just classic WoW fans, or just WoW fans in general, survey questions. And I assume they're going to send this to the Classic WoW team, because I guess we will probably see a Classic Plus coming in the future. There's quite a few surveys. I wasn't able to complete them all. It's a lot of questions, but I did a few this morning. And yeah, we'll go over some of these questions, guys, today while we're questing here in Red Ridge Mountain. And I'm looking forward to a Classic Plus. What I would like to see from it would either be having Classic WoW on Unreal Engine, just like a graphics overhaul of Classic WoW, like kind of, you know, seeing what what Classic WoW would look like with 2026 graphics. If they just did that, I would be stoked. And then another thing that I would think would be interesting is if they combined it, you know, the world feel of Classic WoW and how the world is very, you know, important in this version of the game with Retail's WoW's endgame. It's one thing I like a lot about Retail. I think it has a much better endgame than Classic WoW vanilla. I need you to pick up a keg of Thunderbrew Lager from Grimboo's Thunderbrew in the Westfall Hills, a cask of Merlot from Stormwind, a bottle of moonshine from Darkshire, and a skin of sweet rum from Goldshire. Bring these back to me, and I will see to it that you're rewarded.
A job well done, adventurer. I know well the roads you had to journey to procure this fine array of liquor, but my patrons will be happy once again. My wife is quite a seamstress. Please accept this cloak she made in return for your services.
All right, so you got a 14 armor, 2 spirit cloak. That is an upgrade right there. Finely woven cloak, I believe it's called. We'll check this coin purse. How much did we get from the coin purse? 43 silver. So yeah, that should have paid for all of the liquor that we bought. Okay, so I need to get some soul shards, guys. We don't even have one to summon our Voidwalker, so let's make sure get a few of those. But yeah, I think Retail has a better endgame than Classic Vanilla WoW. Because once you is this guy gonna gank me? How the heck did he hit me while he was in travel form? That was so weird. Yeah, these guys are ganking people in Red Ridge. That's not good. They're just hanging out in Red Ridge ganking Alliance. Might have to leave, guys. If that's what they plan on doing. Or we could just layer. Let's just try to layer. I don't know what layer we're on, to be honest. I did get Nova World Bus. Wow, they got 9 layers going right now, guys. That's quite a few. TBC is going to be hype, guys. Last time I seen this many layers going was during the beginning of fresh anniversary servers, and also when the new hardcore servers came out. I think we'll find out what layer we're on eventually. Yeah, I got Nova World buffs just to figure that out, what layer we're on. Because people are going to be a little toxic before TBC comes out, as you can see, and they're just going to gank lobies, so we may have to layer hop a little bit. We'll stay on this layer for now, but if we get ganked again, we'll switch. But yeah, back to what I was saying about, I think retail has a better end game because they just have more things to do, right? There's you know, Mythic Plus, Mythic raids, like harder difficulties of raids, like Heroic, all that stuff. You know, there's harder dungeons with Mythic Plus. There's, like, Mage Tower that they could add, which is, like, a solo experience. There's a lot of cool things that they could add to Classic Endgame to make it more than just raid logging. Once you get, you know, your pre-bis raid gear, that's pretty much all you do is you just raid log, which gets kind of dull after a while. And then for PvP, like, vanilla PvP is pretty bad. Not a fan of the rank 14 grind. I think Bagels might die. You just spam AVs. Some people are even AFK during that grind, which is a little annoying. But I understand why they're AFK. Just spamming AV all day to get rank up to get gear is kind of boring and dull. And that's why I think if they added like Arena to Classic Plus and, you know, rated battlegrounds, maybe like a dueling queue just for fun. Like, there's so much that they could add. That would make the end game much better. But they have to do that while keeping the world intact, in my opinion. There has to be a reason to go out in the world. You want to keep everybody on these two continents, I believe, Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. Maybe add a few zones, like Mount Hyjal. Stuff like that. But keep it, keep everything in Azeroth. And on the continents where the cities are. I think it's pretty important you keep it. You're able to travel to these new zones on these on the continent. Like, being able to go to Ghostlands would be cool. Eversong Woods, they could probably add to the game as well. But yeah, I can rant about this forever. But I would like to see a new game. So I kind of consider Classic Plus a new game, or almost like a WoW 2.0, where they it's like Classic, but they take the good things from the things that I think are good from retail. Maybe some people don't like Mythic Plus and, you know, arenas and rated battlegrounds and all that other stuff. But try to combine the two without, you know, ruining Classic. Or like making Classic too much like retail. Like it's like the gameplay should still feel like Classic. And they did that in Season of Discovery. In Phase 1. I think Phase 1 was like a real, like, it was the sweet spot for changes, for class changes. They pretty much added like a few abilities. I think that's really all the game needs. It also made like all of the other classes that kind of suck in vanilla, like Ret Paladin, Balanced Druid. Shadow Priest is okay in vanilla, but they have mana issues as well. Made those classes a little more viable, sort of like how they are in TBC. Because you don't want vanilla raiding to just be, you know, stack a bunch of warriors again. I gotta fear this guy. He doesn't pull more stuff. Start casting Shadow Bolts. He's gonna pull more stuff. This guy's gonna kill me. So we got to kill that. These guys are real, like, heroes, man. We have to layer swap. Pretty much camping now. Let's do this. Yeah, I think flying mounts shouldn't be allowed either. Makes the world a lot bigger. There's just a lot of changes I would want. Here we go. Red Ridge. Do we have? Okay, I have to actually go to settings here. Global channels. We have to. I need to add. Looking for group here. And I need to layer off of this. Yeah, a lot of people are looking for layers. I might do it here too, like just do it in Red Ridge. Getting ganked. Like 60. Let's see what happens if we get layered or not. But yeah, let's get to the survey here. So they ask you, which faction do you usually play? I usually play both. They ask you for the Horde, for the Alliance. Switch between both faction. And then the other one is whichever is best for raid/arena during the current expansion that they're in. I usually just switch between both. I used to be a Horde player, but when I started this channel, I decided to give Alliance a try, and I like Alliance as well now. So I usually switch. I'm not really like loyal to either faction. Alright, we're back again. We'll have to get our imp up. Keep trying to find a lair. There's a lot of people looking for lairs. Fight this guy. Oh, we already pulled off of him. Kind of want... Oh, whatever. Let's blow him up. I'm sitting pretty hard now since we got rank 3 Fireball. Maybe they'll leave me alone now. Who knows? And then the next question is, which race would you consider your main? Feel free to pick multiple. To be honest, the way I play is I just play whatever race is best for the thing that I want to do. Like, if I want to raid, I'll probably play the race that's best for that. I'm not really, I don't really care about the aesthetic of my character. Just as long as I'm not, I just don't want anybody to have an advantage over me in raid. So I usually just pick, whatever race is best for raid. But if I don't plan on raiding with the character, I'll just play a race I've never played before. And I've played pretty much every race on the channel. But now since we've played pretty much every race, except for some retail ones, I kind of just play whatever's best for what I want to do. Okay, let's bring out our Voidwalker again. What class do you consider your main? Feel free to pick multiple. But if I had to pick, like, the races I like to play the most, I think Horde side, probably Orc. And to be honest, Alliance side, I like Dwarves and I like Gnomes. Those would probably be my favorites. Undead's pretty cool, too. I'd say Undead and Orc. Horde side. Even though Undead with gear looks kind of crappy. Because, like, I don't know. When you wear boots, it doesn't really show the boots. They just have, like, bones sticking out. Kind of like Orc a little bit more than Undead. But yeah, back to the survey here. What class do you consider your main? Feel free to pick multiple. I played a lot of classes. But the classes I've played the most and have done endgame with would be Druid, Mage, Rogue, and Warrior. Would probably be my mains. Played a little bit of DK. Oh, a lot of DK, actually. I tanked as a DK in Warlords of Draenor. And I played a little bit of Vengeance Demon Hunter in Battle for Azeroth for Mythic Plus. But that was, that's pretty much about it. So I played a little bit of DK. Maybe DK and Demon Hunter would be up there too. It'd be cool in Classic Plus if they found a way to add those two classes to Classic. Like, it'd be cool if, like, could you imagine if there was, like, a raid to unlock DKs? Like, if you do this raid, you unlock DKs and you can play as a DK now. That'd be pretty cool. And then they, like, balance it out to where, like, they're not, like, OP DKs from Wrath of the Lich King, but they still have that DK feel to them. I think that would be awesome. Alright, so we got all the Condor meat. We can move on from this. Let's get another shard here. We'll make ourselves a Hellstone. They asked me how old I was. I'm in my 30s, but I'm not. I said I prefer not to say. I'm not going to tell them my age. I don't know why age matters, but I guess I think age matters if you're young. Because if you're young, they really want to hear what you have to say. Because you're the future of this game. So if you're like in your early 20s, or especially if you're like a teenager, they really want to hear what you have to say. Because you are the future of WoW. Uh-oh. Got a grunt on us. I think we'll be okay here. Just dot him up. Get this guy down. There's two over here, too, that ambush you. Hopefully Pegcole can get. Yeah, you can't really taunt him. He's a higher level. Not anymore, though. We're level 19. So we have improved Curse of Weakness, which we don't really use too much, so we probably won't take that. Improved Drain Soul. 7% of your maximum mana. The target turns 7% of your maximum mana if the target is killed by you while you drain its soul. In addition, your affliction spells generate 5% less threat. It's not bad. Or Soul Siphon. Increases the amount drained by your drain life spell by an additional 2% for each affliction effect up on the target, up to a max of 24%. So the more dots we have on them, the more we drain life. So I think we'll take that and max that out. And there's 3 orcs here behind here. So if you run by here and you're like level, say, I don't know, 15, all of these guys will run at you. They can net you as well, these Blackrock grunts, so watch out for that if you're ever playing hardcore in Red Ridge Mountain. Let's get rid of this whelp here, and then we'll make our way in and try to get this Knoll quest completed. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of using Immolate, to be honest. If I'm gonna cast, I might as well just cast Shadow Bolt, in my opinion. I might pull 2 here. This could get a little messy. Well, we'll just Shadow Bolt this guy down. At least Sarfog can stay alive. Tell him to switch now. How often do you play WoW each week? So the question's, it's less than weekly / inactive. A few hours a week, 1 to 9. Over 10 hours a week. Every day if I can, and more, 20 plus hours. I play a lot of WoW, 40 plus hours. I would play over 10 hours per week. Well, you can see how much I play on the channel. Probably playing a little bit more now. I normally play between like 10 to 20 hours a week. I consider that's a you know, your typical WoW player. I'm consider myself a casual. It allows you to at least raid on one character in endgame. It gives you a little bit of time for like a little bit more. So usually rating's like 6 to 9 hours a week. So I'd say like just over 10 hours, maybe 20 some weeks. I don't even remember last time I played 40, but long time ago I probably did. I played this game 24 hours in one day, like way back in the day. I think it was during like Wrath of the Lich King or something like that. And if you play over 20, like just over 20, you can raid on like 2 characters. Level up 2 characters. And then 40 plus, you can just like hardcore play the game. And like try to, I guess, play in a guild that's trying to get like server first. Right? Server first, like raid boss kills, stuff like that. Alright, so that's, I guess, that introduction to, like, that they figure out what, like, type of WoW player you are, I guess. Try to sneak by this. There you go, we made it. Silver vein there. How many do we have here? We have Yowler. Why the heck is Yowler just hanging out there? It's good he's walking away. I'll go mine this. We can get up here. Alright, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you feel about Classic Plus if they changed how the game looked? I actually think that would be a selling point for me. Like, if they just kept it looking like with this client, I wouldn't be that excited, to be honest. Because we've already seen like a Classic Plus with this client. Right, and that's pretty much Season of Discovery. So this time around, if they did, you know, use a different engine, which is the next question. Unreal Engine-esque graphics, lighting, polygon count. And this is from a scale to 1 to 10. 1, keep the graphics 2004, and 10, my GPU is crying. I put 10. Because I would just love to see what this game would look like on like a, you know, a 2026 updated engine. right? I think it would be way better. I don't know if it would be way better, but it'd be interesting to see.
I am in your debt.
I don't know if he needs help with this. I could help him. I don't want to pull this guy. I think he's okay. There's a basher over here. Yeah, I would love it if they did that. And that's the reason why they got rid of that private server, is because they were going to put Classic WoW on an Unreal Engine. And honestly, if they just did that and made no changes to vanilla and it was just a fresh server on with Classic WoW on Unreal Engine, I'd play that too. That'd be awesome. I just want to see what it would look like. Like what Orgrimmar would look like on a new engine. What, you know, Stormwind would look like. What Molten Core, Naxxramas. Because it would look way better than retail as well, which is awesome. Now they ask you, modern WoW character models. So do you want them to be modern WoW character models? To be honest, I don't want them to be... I want them to be better than modern WoW. Like, I want it to be completely new. So, it's from 1 to 10 again. 1 is touch the models and I quit. And then 10, old models suck so hard. So, like, you'd want modern models. I think it should just be new models that work well with the new engine that they're using. So, I kind of just put... I was thinking about putting 5, but, like, I don't know. I put 10 because... I guess I would want... I would assume they're new. They would use the new model, but I don't know. I wish there was, like, a different answer for that. And then they asked modern WoW character animations. And then 1 is keep it classically. And then 10 is bouncing dwarves are rad. So 1 to 10. I put 10. I would want, yeah, new classic, new character animations for sure. Why not? I want it to feel like, I wouldn't say like a completely new game, but it should be updated. And then modern WoW spell effects. 1 is no thank you and 10 is yes please. I think the spell effects, yeah, should be updated as well. They can make them look better. Like, they could easily make Shadow Bolt look better, right? Like, we'll try Shadow Bolt now. And I'll pull... Hopefully you can taunt him. Okay, good. I'll fear him here. Yeah, see, fear could look better. Shadow Bolt's just like a purple skull flying, which is cool. But, like, they could make it look better. We got a Mystic that just spawned on top of us. I'm gonna have to... It's gonna pull soon. We'll spear him here. Hopefully he doesn't pull that pack. If he pulls that pack, we're in trouble. He's gonna attack me with that? I gotta start shadow bolting her. Starfog's gonna go down. Nice, I pulled off. No. Starfog went down, but we stayed alive. And then modern WoW UI. Player and target frames, action bars, nameplates. There probably will be add-ons, so you can always just change your UI, but what they do with edit mode here is better than what's in Classic WoW, in my opinion. So, yeah, sure. Modern WoW UI, too. You don't really have a way to change your UI without using add-ons in Classic. So there's nothing wrong with using edit mode or bringing edit mode to Classic WoW, in my opinion. But yeah, I clearly want the game to like just be completely updated. Like it should look like they should just look like an updated version of this.
What do you want from me?
Almost sort of like what they did with Warcraft 3, but hopefully better, because the updated version of Warcraft 3, it looks good, it's decent, but some people didn't like it. There's a lot of problems with the game. But it wasn't due to the graphics, I would say. It was mostly due to like just things they took out of the original that weren't in the remastered version. Next question is, how would you like Blizzard to handle the server rollout? So the answers are many servers at launch, some PvP, some PvE, a couple RP like Vanilla Classic launched with. Gotta watch out here. Let's shadow bolt them down. A condensed server list like SOD with consolidation happening over time. It's not a bad idea, right? I think they did a good... I think that's better than the first option. Because the first option I remember playing in 2019. And they tried having a bunch of servers and just so many just fell apart, and then there ended up being like 3 servers that people played. Which was a PvE server, a PvP server, which was Faralina. Well, each faction had a PvP server. Alliance got their own PvP server. So it wasn't even a PvP server anymore. It was just a dominated server. I believe the Alliance one was called Benediction. And then there was an RP PvP server, Grobulus. I thought that one was really cool. And I think there's a PvE server, but I forget what it was called. But the most popular ones were Benediction and Faralina, which were both PvP servers. And the reason why there was 2 of them is because they had issues balancing, faction balancing, which they have now fixed in an anniversary, right? And they did that through... Say if there's too much horde on the server, they'll start forcing players to make alliance characters, and vice versa. Oh yeah, we gotta get demon skin up. I always forget. Go. Have any other buffs we can use? Let's put up some stamina here. We have intellect, so we don't need to use the scroll intellect. I think we're safe here, kinda. I think we'll go on the Mystic here. And I'll bot him up. He'll attack us. Oh, he knocked me down, punching right in the head. This isn't working out too well. And then he goes the wrong way. You gotta be kidding me. I gotta go. Gotta run. Oh my gosh. Sarfog, run, dude. I hate when they do that. Where's Sarfog? Oh, they're chasing him. Oh no, we're in trouble. Are they still coming? Okay, good. We can actually fight this guy. Can he taunt him? No, eh? It's too bad. He might die. That was a close call. When fear doesn't work the way you want it to. That's why I went in front of him to hope he would run the other way, but he just ran straight. to more gnolls. Another answer is one merge PvP server with faction balance enforced, which is what they have in Anniversary, and one mega PvE server with no faction balance enforcement. I think that is what they currently have in Anniversary, and that's pretty good. I don't mind that at all. And then there's only one mega server, which is PvP, that lets players opt in, opt out from PvP via safe zones and towns and the war mode option. War mode's something they have in retail. You just go to your main, like a capital city, you can turn war mode on, and if you turn war mode on, that means players can now like interact with you in the world and PvP and gank you. And since you have it on, like war mode on, you get rewards like extra XP and stuff like that because you have war mode on, which is all right, but I don't really like it. The cool thing about it is it gets everybody onto one server, which is really cool. It is kind of crappy that the PvE and PvP community is kind of separated. And it is a good thing to try to get them together, because then, you know, you got more people to play with. Obviously, there would be like your faction. You wouldn't be able to play with the opposing faction, but you'd have more people on your faction to play with. So it's not a bad idea, but I think it would just, I don't know, be too much for Classic. It would change Classic a little too much. Or would it? I don't know. It's great. It's great to have more people. You don't want to play on a dead server ever. But I honestly think this is what I chose. I chose the 1 mega PvP server with faction balance enforced, and 1 mega PvE server with no faction balance enforced. I also was kind of hoping they would just add RP servers, because there are a lot of... It's just a cool mode to... It's not even like a game mode. I think RP should just be added to every server, to be honest. Like, people should be allowed to RP, right? And people do RP on the PvP server. There's an RP guild, actually, that my paladin was in. So I guess you don't really need to have... to say the server's RP. But if you add RP servers, it would split the community even more. So that's why I was thinking maybe the SOD version would be good, because there was some RP servers during SOD, I think. There was at least one. But it just adds to the game. It's fun if you go to town and you see some people doing an RP event. And you kind of just leave them alone, but you can like watch from afar and see what they're doing. It happened quite a bit on Grobulus when I played on the dwarf hunter. You'd see like a bunch of dwarves just like chatting in town and trying to stay in character and all that stuff. I think it's a fun thing to add to the game. Just makes the server feel, I don't know, more alive. It also adds immersion while you're playing. I like RP. But the thing is, if they if the servers are only RP PvP and RP PvE, they're kind of forcing RP rules onto people, which isn't the best thing to do, like, right? Because if you do, like, interrupt people's RP, like, say you're on the same faction and you're, like, griefing people's RP by, like, I don't know, jumping around them and yelling, slash yelling, kind of just interrupting their RP while they're RPing with their guild, then they can report you and get you banned. Because it's an RP server, right? They're allowed to do that. So that's the problem with it. But why the heck would you want to grief someone's RP anyways? That's right. And another thing they said, like, your name has to be roleplay. Like, your name can't be, I guess, I don't know, orange juice. Or I don't know, you know what I mean? Or something, I don't know. But that's not true. Like, when I played on Grobulus, people had random names. Like Coca-Cola and stuff like that. And, like, no one cared. You didn't get reported. So, I think that's fake news, but if you are, like, this, like, interrupting someone's RP event and you're, like, griefing it, then I guess, yeah, they could probably report you. And then on a PvP and PvE server, they couldn't really do that. Yeah, we're pretty much done here. We just have to take down brutes, guys. So, I don't know. It's a tough one. I wish there could be just 2 servers, sort of like how they have it in Anniversary and RP PvP. RP PvP and RP PvE server. But if you can't get that, then I guess just have it the way it is in Anniversary. I really wouldn't mind which one they chose. Maybe I should have chose no option. But I chose 1 mega PvP server with faction balance enforced and 1 mega PvE server with no faction balance enforcement. I just think the war mode thing wouldn't work in Classic. It just doesn't feel like a Classic thing. But war mode's pretty much like just a different layer, right? Where you PvP. Like, we already have 9 layers right now. So it's just another layer where PvP's enabled. So it's not that bad. There'd be 1 layer where PvP's enabled and another layer where it's not. So it could work. Then you give extra rewards to the war mode server, the war mode layer, I guess. I don't know. Need to find a few more brutes here. Can't take that on this pack here. It's too many. Too many gnolls for us. So the next question is, there's so many questions, probably won't get through them all. Another one is, how would you feel if Classic Plus had an element of seasonal servers resetting every couple of years? And the answers are no, don't reset the servers. Depends on a lot of factors, not sure. Yes, fresh is the best part of the game. And then no opinion. I chose yes, fresh is the best part of the game. But it would be cool if they had, you know, an era server that you could just play on and, like, transfer your characters to. Right? Because you put a lot of time into these characters, so it'd be kind of nice if they just had the best of both worlds, right? You just have a reset, and then you have 1 server where there isn't a reset. You just kind of give us both. Because why not, right? We're paying a monthly subscription to play this game, right? But if I had to choose, I would prefer fresh servers. There's nothing better than a fresh server. Everyone's leveling up. The world feels alive. It's great. And then, oh man. So are we okay? Might actually be okay. I'll try to LOS. Bring him away from that pack. Just use a Hellstone here. Send Sarfog at him. How would you feel about layers in Classic Plus? So, the answers are no layers in Classic Plus. Layers are fine, no opinion. I'm kind of anti-layers. No layers. But it's almost impossible to not have layers. Could you imagine the queue times right now? In TBC repatch? 9 layers? You'd be waiting for 10... You'd be behind, like, I don't know, 5,000 to 10,000 people trying to log in. You'll have to wait like 2 to 3 hours to log in. No one's got time for that. So... Obviously, the dream is, like, no layers, right? And then that goes back to the servers. Like, if there's no layers, just have more servers. Then say people just play the game and quit, then those servers die, and then those people get stuck. And they can't really transfer to the other servers because they're full. So there really isn't an answer to it other than to just do layers. So I guess, yeah, layers are fine as well, but it would be awesome if they could find a way to have no layers. Because it's kind of cool if you're, like, in an area and you know that everybody online that's in this area is there. Like, there's actually a bunch of people here in Red Ridge Mountain on 9 of these layers, but we don't see them because they're on a different layer. And that kind of sucks. See, right now we're on layer 1. It's finally telling us. This is layer 1, Red Ridge Mountain. Supposedly there's 26 of us here in layer 1. Supposedly there's 8,000 in layer 8. I doubt it. There's 8,000 in layer 8, but who knows? We just need 2 more brutes. Brute here? No, it's Bashers and Mystics. I was kind of waiting for the other brutes to spawn, but they're taking quite a while. So we'll have to just fight our way over to the next area. Maybe we'll check one more time. Should be spawned by now. Yeah, layering will just be a thing. There's no way they're going to get rid of it. But they could do a non-layer server. And it's for people who don't mind waiting in queue times because they don't like layers. There should be a layered server, though. A server with layers for people to go on if they just hate going through the queue times, right? Yeah, who knows what they'll do. That'd be an interesting thing to try, a no-layer server. See how long it lasts before people start complaining and asking for layers. Alright, here we go. Section 2, in-game systems. Should the size of the raids be reduced from 40? No, keep the raids at 40. Reduce required raid size, but implement flex rating so we can bring more players and the challenge stays the same. I think that's kind of hard to do. Like, how do they balance it where the challenge stays the same? There's a brute there. No. Okay, we just need one more after this. So I think that's kind of like impossible to keep the balance the same with flex rating, and obviously it's going to change. Right? Because how do they rebalance it? You know, you can kind of like make your raid group pretty OP in a flex group, right? Like you say it's a fight with that needs more healers, you can just add 2 healers and make it easier. Right? So I don't know if I really like that. Another one is reduce required raid size to 20 and allow me to bring more than 20 if I want. So it's pretty much flex rating, but it's reduced to 20. It's not a bad idea. I think it should be reduced. It's really hard to actually have a 40-man guild. It's a lot of recruiting you have to do, and I think 20 is kind of the sweet spot number for raiding. 10 is really good as well. And then reduce raid size with no flexibility, and then there's no opinion. I just said reduce raid size with no flexibility. Because I think flexing, I don't know, ruins the balance of the raid. And then there's like the argument is like, should flex raiders get the same quality gear as people raiding with the actual number that it was intended? I know it's just, you know, gear, it doesn't really matter, but it should, you know, like there should be a reward for doing it at the proper number that it was intended to be at, in my opinion, but I don't know. But flexing is good because it allows people to, you know, not have to like have a certain amount of people, right?
Good day to you.
But then people can kind of just, you know, it's good and bad. This bridge isn't going to build itself. Now, where are those iron pikes and iron rivets?
Great work, adventurer. These supplies will help the bridge effort immensely. We'll get this beauty shored up in no time.
All right, so there we go. We got some new gloves, guys. 21 armor, 3 intellect, 4 spell and healing power.
Thank you for all your help, adventurer. Adventurer, the gnolls are still out there. I can hear their baying as they hunt in the hills above Lakeshire, and one cry is louder than the rest. Yowler, their leader. Kill Yowler and send his pack scattering. Bring me his paw as proof. And be careful. This gnoll is their leader for a reason. He is no mongrel.
Because some people play alone, right? They don't really have, like, friends to play with. And, like, if you flex rating, you can kind of just keep your core group without adding anybody new in. Right? Like, if you only have 13 friends that want to play, or if you have that many, then you can just keep it at 13 without bringing in a few new people. But I think forcing it to be 20 kind of gets people to, like, bring, you know, maybe some solo players into their group, which is nice. I still need 5 pieces of tough condor meat, 5 great Gorta snouts, and 5 helpings of crisp spider meat.
Well done, adventurer. Such fine specimens, too. And here is your delicious delicacy known as Red Ridge Goulash.
And adding, like say you have like 13 people you game with regularly, and you add another 7, that's not too bad. But if you need 40 people, that means you need like 25. And that gets a little crazy. You know what I mean? Or 27. Like, that's what happened with my friend group. We had like over 10 of us, and like we had to recruit another 25 to have a 40-man raid in vanilla. And it was cool. We met a lot of cool people, and it was fun, but it's a lot of work recruiting 40 people and then recruiting more people after some of those people leave. So like having only to have to recruit 7 isn't that bad, right? It's not that bad at all. But yeah, guys, there's clearly a lot more questions to go through. Maybe I'll talk about it more in the next episode. If this was annoying, tell me. I'll stop talking about it, but we'll focus more on what's going on in the world. But it's just something that I thought was interesting and felt like discussing with you guys today. It's good that we got a few quests done. We got to level 19. And I think next episode, guys, we may head into Dead Mines. That might be the plan. So Looking forward to that. Gonna have a little Dead Mines run. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.